Right, good morning everyone. Melissa here. Just finished my workout. I love working out. I seriously could spend the whole day at the gym. Right now I owe them some fees, so I'm not there until I get those straightened out. But yeah, if you're not at the gym for a time or something, get your exercise in another way. So, yesterday I did a video. I'm going to talk about dealing with trials right now. So I did a video about this guy who was like bugging me, right? So I sent him a text yesterday and I'm like, you got some nerve. You've got some kind of nerve basically to think that you can say what you said to me. So he's like, well, I want to know. I want to know if basically you're scared of us doing something together if we hang out. I don't even know this guy, right? So at that point, he's like, you gave me a look. Okay, now, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So I have these trials with my husband, and I don't know. So when you have trials and you don't know which way, this is abnormal, right? This doesn't happen in usual real life. But you have your husband, you're going through a divorce, you know certain things are coming your way because of the divorce. So you're like, well, if I go this way, it could be this person. If I go this way, it could be this person. So I'm like, I'm just going to call the guy and confront him straight up. So I called him and I had said in a text, I did not give you a look. And he's like, yes, you did. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't go around giving people looks. So I said, I called him. I'm like, do you want to explain yourself to me, basically? What are you talking about? And he's like, you gave me a look at the laundromat. He goes, remember when we first sat down and you were on the phone? I'm like, yeah. I was on the phone calling resources. He's like, you gave me a look. I'm like, no, I didn't. I know myself and I don't give people I don't even know a look, right? I'm like, what kind of look was this? He goes, it was enchanting. I'm like, look, I did not give you a look. So, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he's like, well, I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to know what that look meant. And I'm like, what are you looking for? What is your problem basically? What are you looking for? He's like, you. I want to know you. And I'm like, look, buddy, uh, I don't even know you. I don't even know you and you expect me to go out with you? He's like, yeah. And he goes, what's the matter? We're going out together. And I'm like, I don't know you. So I am not going out with you. So basically cut the crap, right? So he's like, well, I'll see you at church. And I'm like, yeah, you want to go to church? Go right ahead. I go, anybody can go to church. I'm not going to tell somebody they can't go to church. I don't have that right to tell somebody. So, and then he called last night. I didn't answer the phone. And he had said something on the phone about wanting to go to church and hold hands together. And I'm like, you keep it up, keep it up. And I'm like, I'm not even talking to you. And so he was like, well, I want you to talk to me. So, this guy is just, whew, way out there. And, you hope people come to church. You hope they get saved. You hope they come to know Christ and everything. But there's only so much you have to put up with in ministry, right? And also with this stuff going on with my husband, I don't know where this guy is truly coming from with his intent and motives. So I guess what I'm trying to say, the point of this video, is when you're going through trials, be very, very careful. God's word says to put the armor of God on. So be able to see things that, especially as a Christian, you can see things other people sometimes cannot see. So be very wary of who you let around you. Have your so-called armor on. I think of like the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the belt of truth, the shoes of the gospel. It talks about this in the Bible, right? How years ago people used to wear an armor when they fought so that none of the arrows could get in. So, have those, there are times to have walls up. There are times to have, you know, certain space around you so that nobody can get in there and no one can bother you. Especially where, my background has been a lot of guys just hitting on me, wanting to go out with me. It's really important for me to protect myself because, that kind of stuff where I haven't even gone through like, some of the stuff that I went through with guys. I'm like, I haven't even seriously gone through a lot of the, well, why did that happen or what happened there or looking at things in another way. So you can, especially if you've been through a lot of sexual harassment, you can go through that again when you're going through, healing through your abortion. You can, all the relationships around that abortion and everything that happened, you definitely could fall into something again. So I think it's important just to really watch your ways and watch who you have around you and make sure that you're very careful, who you talk to. I'm on the phone looking for resources. I'm in crises mode. I'm not going to be giving somebody some look I just met. So this guy is really, how do I say it? Really out of line, going over the line where he should. So don't put up with that, ladies. Don't feel like you have to put up with a guy's malarkey. You don't have to put up with his baloney. A gentleman will never act like that. And I'm like, you're coming on awful strong, you know? And he's like, what? I just want to go out. And I'm like, the answer is no. I'm like, do you know what the word no means? I'm like, no is not a yes. So, this kind of reminds me of the lady I taught you last week too. Um, I was talking to someone in ministry and they're making stockings for those who have been sex trafficked. And the stockings have all kinds of self-care products in it. And it's just say, we love you and we care to people. So these young people who are getting these, a lot of people have said women in prostitution, they say, oh, they wanted it or they wanted to be raped. And this woman was very adamant when she was talking to me. She's like, women don't want to be raped. She's like, who would really want to be raped? So there's a lot of sex trafficking going on right now. And, that's kind of what scares me about this guy wanting to go out because not that I feel like I would fall into that, but that you don't know who people are and you don't just get in a car with someone. I mean, you don't just go off with people, especially nowadays. And adults do get sex trafficked too. So it's not just kids, it's also adults. So you want to be really careful about, what you're doing. Also, when someone has pushed you and say, I have work online for you, and then that, they send you, like he did, a link, when I was looking for resources, here's a link for work. You don't really know, about the company until you research it. So be very wary of people nowadays. There's a lot of strange things going on, but when you're going through the trials, just stay close to God and keep your walls up, so to say. Okay, thanks for joining me, ladies.